G'day, g'day! This is Steph, the big boss lady at Lovable Social Media. We invigorate your brand and grow business sales with social media. Okay, so lately I've been running quite a few Facebook ads and campaigns for my clients, and I'm sure that if you've done the same, then you've probably noticed the people that get super defensive about you or that your ads showing up on their news feed. And normally their comments tend to be something like, get the f*** off my news feed. So today what I wanted to talk to you about was how to deal with obnoxious Facebook ads comments. As horrible as these comments are, do not take them to heart. It's not your fault. Why don't you love me? Unless you're not adding value to the community with your ads, try to always add as much value in all the marketing that you do, not just Facebook and social media marketing, but just try to add as much value as you can so that you're not spamming people. So make sure that you know who your target audience is and what they want to see from you, and make sure that you add plenty of value to them. Then if you get those obnoxious ads, do not take it personally. They are just not in your target market. There's a few ways that you can deal with these ads, but let's just go into a little bit deeper of why people might be feeling this way, why you shouldn't feel guilty, and then we'll go into how you can handle those situations. So let's look at the person's perspective. They have a Facebook account that they feel it belongs to them. They've set it up with Facebook and they feel that it's their private information. After all, they are uploading private information, private photos, talking to friends, close friends, and so they feel that it's their own little realm. So from that perspective, you have to kind of acknowledge, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. You know, it is kind of like your little world, and I can see why you're feeling that way. So you have to understand their mentality and where they are coming from, because the last thing you want is to get into an argument with them because none of you see each other's perspective. So number one, acknowledge their perspective, just so that you can approach it from a different angle. Number two, don't feel guilty for posting the ads, because if it wasn't for your ads, they wouldn't be using Facebook for free. Please don't feel guilty about running ads and building your business through Facebook, because those people that do leave the obnoxious comments on your Facebook ads do not realize that the only reason Facebook is free for them to use and have their own little world on is because of people like me and you who actually do pay for ads. So now that we understand the background behind why people feel they need to leave those comments, why you should not feel guilty for running ads for your business and growing your business, how do you handle these rude, obnoxious Facebook comments? There are a few different comments that people leave. Sometimes people are genuinely curious. They feel like you've kind of intervened, gotten in on their territory a little bit, but they're still curious about what you are about. And those people, just explain to them nicely what you're about, what you do, the outcomes that you produce for your clients, and then they might turn into clients themselves. If you come across people that are just being rude and obnoxious and are just trolling your page and your ad for the sake of trolling it, then you always have the option of deleting and banning them. And I've done that for a few people and I didn't feel bad about it whatsoever. They're obviously not interested. I'm not interested in what they have to say. Goodbye. I don't want to affect the mood of the community that I've created. So sometimes I just say goodbye very quickly to them. One thing to keep in mind though, for any of the trollers that do come onto your page, that do click on your ads, is, and this is quite ironic, the people that hate your ads and come and leave comments on your ads, click on your ads and interact with your ads, they're actually making your ads cheaper for you. Because the more that someone interacts with an ad or clicks on an ad, Facebook deems it more relevant and therefore gives it a higher ranking in its algorithm and shows it to more people. And also the cost of your ads comes down. So ironically, the people who are jumping onto your ads are actually doing you a bit of a favor. Suckers. So in this circumstance, you have to decide between whether it's worth keeping them on the ad and leaving their comment or interacting with them, or deleting it, because sometimes you don't necessarily want your potential clients, your ideal target market, to see what the obnoxious comments are on your ad. So always keep in mind that there are more people who read your ads, read your content on Facebook or anywhere on the internet and don't leave a mark. They just watch and observe. So keep that in mind, that there are people that just watch and observe your content and don't interact with it. So whenever you're deciding whether to post something or comment on something, reply to something, or whether you should delete or ban someone, keep the people in mind who just observe and watch what you're doing, because they're watching you very closely and they're trying to make up their mind whether or not they should become a client of yours. So be careful and keep those people in mind at all times. Now, saying all that, I also like to set myself a challenge, and the challenge normally is, I wonder if I can turn these critics into raving loyal fans. And it has worked in the past. Sometimes your greatest critics, the people that hate your ads the most, can really become loyal fans. So if you're up for a challenge like I am, then you can try to turn the situation around, showcase your expertise and professionalism, and try to get those people on board as well. Or if they're not willing to come on board, then maybe one of their friends will be willing to come on board, because every time someone comments on something, it shows up in their newsfeed and their friends get to see that as well. So keep that in mind. Make yourself look professional, make yourself look like the good guy. Remain composed, don't get too affected, don't take those comments too personally, which is most important, and you will be fine. It's part of the whole Facebook experience, the comments that we're seeing right now. Take it all in and learn how to deal with it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please share it with your friends who might be interested as well. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, because in it I share amazing advice that I don't share in video or on my blog. So please subscribe to the newsletter, and I shall see you next week. Goodbye.